is no second best.
Good morning, Crypto Chaos. Good morning, good morning. I'm late. I'm actually late today. I was hanging out a little bit too late last night with the Chaos crew after the live stream. How you guys doing this morning? How you guys doing, Cliff? How the hell are you doing? The truth is out there. The truth is out there, says Cliff. Here on the AM. Good morning, G-Dog in the house. Good morning, EZ. Must be a red day. Yes, Otaku's late. No, that has nothing to do with it. I was hanging out, of course, way too late with the Chaos crew last night. An hour later than I should have. Probably went to bed. All right. Let's go. Oh, geez, guys. It is time. It is time for a nice wake up. Good morning. Happy hippo dump. Oh, jeez. What a mess.
They call them dumps. Big, massive dump.
Bitcoin down to 69,300. 69,300. You guys know the market doesn't affect my my day. Doesn't care. I don't care about where the hell Bitcoin's at or the rest of the market. 69,300 on Bitcoin. Hitting our bear target. Yikes. Right on target. Right on target. Nice bounce here. Nice clean bounce at 69K. 69,000. Actually, 100. Yeah, almost. Yeah, about 69,100. Yeah, basically. Right on top of it. Crazy. How you guys doing? Happy hippo dump. Yes, good morning for the house hippo dump. Of course. Easy's favorite in the chat. Oh, geez. I'm still trying to wake up, guys. Oh, my God. All right, let's get back over to Doomberg real quick. I, of course, have a clip for you guys in the open interest this morning.
Iran war is jolting the global economy just as it was stabilizing. The OECD now sees U.S. inflation hitting 4.2% this year. That's up very sharply from earlier forecasts. Oil disruptions driving prices higher. The group warns that energy shocks pose significant downside risks to global growth. The Wall Street Journal reporting that Fannie Mae may soon accept crypto-backed mortgages for the first time. The product would let home buyers pledge crypto holdings instead of selling assets for a cash down payment. It's not the first crypto mortgage offering, but Fannie Mae's involvement could bring these products further into the mainstream. And former Goldman CEO Lloyd Blankfein warning that private markets are piling up hinder. He says unsold assets may be overvalued and one shock could spark widespread markdowns. He spoke with Bloomberg's Francine Lacqua.
If you haven't had a crisis, it means you haven't had a reckoning. You accumulate tinder on the floor of the forest, and eventually a spark will come. The longer between intervals where there's a spark that sets it on fire, the more that accumulates. So at some point, there needs to be a forcing function or a reckoning.
Let's get more on those.
I vote for the reckoning.
Bruce Douglas, he leads Bloomberg's leverage finance coverage. Bruce, there's a story this morning that Ares posted its steepest lossly month on record, but we should note in February that loss was under 0.7%. So can you put that in context for us? What does it mean for the fund to lose but less than 1%?
Yeah, I mean, it's a $23 billion fund, so it's a sizable fund, and it is its worst monthly loss on record. This obviously reflects losses in the public markets, where we saw steep sell-offs in the leveraged loan market, where obviously there's a lot of investment in the software.
All right, let's get up to date where we are right now. All right, so 69,300. Market opens in about a minute and a half or so. Yeah, so I did hang out with the Chaos crew last night a little too late. I apologize. Going on 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little bit late to out the gate this morning. Let's see what we got also in the headlines. CNBC. Trump says Iranian negotiators are better get serious before it's too late. Oh no. Of course, teasing Friday night. I think it's a deadline, right? Friday night. Of course, giving them a 5-day ultimatum on Monday morning. Technically, wouldn't that be Saturday morning? I don't know. Trump said Iranian negotiators better get serious. Previous President Donald Trump said on Thursday morning, told Iran to get serious soon about a peace deal with Washington or face the consequences. They better get serious soon before it's too late. Because once this happens, there's no turning back. And it won't be pretty. He posted, of course, on Truth Social, I guess, this morning. The comments coming ongoing confusion over whether the United States and Iran ever had negotiations ending the war to begin with. That's what everyone's asking. That's all just smoke and mirrors at this point. All right, let's get back over to the live. They're going to be opening the bell here in about 30 seconds or so. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Good morning. Good morning.
We are about to kick off trading on this Thursday. You're watching Bloomberg Open Interest. I'm Danny Berger. Matt Miller has left me on my own this morning. S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, all of those are lower. Concerns that it's a deja vu. We're heading into the weekend. Not yet. We do have 2 trading days to go. But with escalation threats coming from the president saying Iran needs to get serious, an Axios report about sending more troops for one final push in Iran before the end of the war. Russell 2000 futures, those were actually trading at a 2-week high, but now they're off more than 1%. So at the opening bells, something a little bit unusual, something you don't see every day. It is a takeover from both the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ of a company called IR Impact. Apparently they used to be IR Magazine, so they're a bit of a trade publication. They're giving out awards for investor relations. I'm sure we have a lot of IR professionals watching the show, so congrats to you out there if you've won an award. I have to say, I think the NASDAQ has it better because the NASDAQ, I believe, has the CEO, whereas the New York Stock Exchange just has their head of content. I might have mixed that up, I'm going to be honest. But one of them, you know, they split and conquered. I don't know how you decide who goes to who. Okay, let's go to your pre-market movers so you can stop hearing me rambling on about IR Impact.
Yes, please.
Jefferies now up more than 1%. There had been some concerns about them before that they were seeing credit impacts. They were seeing losses from MFS, from First Brand, some other things in there too. However, they did notch their best investment banking quarter ever. So now shares are starting to reflect that. The memory chip stocks, those are having a bad day after having a bad day yesterday, down 4.6% for SanDisk. Micron falls nearly 4% in the pre-market. Google announcing yesterday that it has a new technology that can power AI at just a fraction of computing power currently needed, though I have to say a lot of analysts pouring cold water on that, saying it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Who do we have on? Get to it.
Back to our top story.
Get to it.
Top brass at BlackRock believe investors are underestimating the impact of the war in Iran. BlackRock President Rob Capito says, quote, "What if this disruption is a week, 6 months, a year? What is it going to mean for the companies that I own? My biggest concern is that people aren't looking at this. They're just making the assumption for an optimistic outcome." Add to that, the OECD sharply increasing its inflation forecast today due to the war, predicting a 4.2% jump in the U.S. this year. Let's bring in InvestNet's co-chief investment officer and group president, Dana D'Auria. Dana, great to see you this morning. Would you agree with the likes of BlackRock that maybe we're not fully pricing in the risks?
Does anyone agree with BlackRock?
Yeah, I have a similar assessment. I mean, I think what we all expect typically in cases like this is that there's a plan in place that's going to prevent any sort of long-term problems, you know, upset to the market, et cetera. And I think what we're kind of discovering is that that doesn't appear to be the case, right? There doesn't appear to be a good plan ahead of time for how we're going to get out of this, what goals we're even, you know, necessarily trying to achieve here, and what victory looks like.
I like her.
And so if that's the case, then, you know, you have sort of this exacerbating circumstance where you have Iran, you have Israel, who maybe want the conflict to last a little bit longer, right? They both think
what are we doing?
Helps their position for it to last longer. And so if we don't sort of have that plan going in, which again, you know, typically markets kind of look through this stuff, even the Fed, right? Which I think is one of the big, you know, results of this is what happens with Fed rate. But even the Fed will typically look through a short-term supply shock in oil. But if it's not short-term, you know, to the quote that you kind of read, then you do have more serious long-term issues that you have to look at in the market.
Then what would that actually look like? Stocks now down maybe about 5% since the start of the war. Is that what's mispriced? Is there something else that you think looks a little off, given what you're talking about, the threat that this just keeps going on and
wow.
on?
S&P 500 open
Yeah,
almost
well,
a full point down this morning.
You know, I mentioned one of the biggest issues is, of course, what does this mean for rate cuts, right? So you had a market that we came into the year obviously very strong, and the market was pricing in something like 2 rate cuts probably. And we had a weak jobs report obviously come out in February, declining 92,000 jobs. So that was unexpected. We also had revisions to earlier months that took away jobs. And so that balance that the Fed looks at between inflation and unemployment, you know, inflation's already been a little stickier than we want it to be.
All right. I'm over it. Yes, we know. Right? We know. Okay, let's continue on with Kramer and Friends.
Coordination agreement.
I think that's the kind of thing that I talk about denial as a river on Wall Street. If that occurred and we just continue to trade down, I think that's short-sighted.
All right. Well, energy stocks are the best performers, no surprise today. Healthcare and consumer staples are holding up better, and so are financials, Jim, which, you know, we're constantly on watch for the next private credit tape bomb, I would say. What's your feeling on that? Like, how much of a lingering issue is that for the financial group and for the market as well?
Well, you're going to speak to Mark Rowan, who's a great truth teller. I do believe that people don't recognize that the lockups are real, that you will not be able to get out for more than you already have. That's because it's what was said when you took on private credit. By the way,
it was the terms.
Yeah, a lot of the states love private credit because it's a little higher yield. They're perfectly willing to wait 6 to 10 years. Individuals now are scared because they watch us. And I'm going to take a step back and say, until I start seeing massive defaults in the companies that are owned,
which we have not seen,
we have not. Now, it is true. By the way, a great piece in Bloomberg, Matt Levine, talking about how. Remember,
Matt Levine, who's not my husband, but he's a good columnist over. I have a husband named Matt Levine. Everyone thinks I'm married to him.
I thought you were married.
Thank you for derailing that entire thing. All right, I'm over it. Good morning, guys in the chat. If you guys are just joining in, we did hit, of course, our baseline bear last night, right on top of the bear target.
We're gonna win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
So tired of winning, guys. So tired of winning. Wake up and smell the winning. Wake up and smell the chaos this morning. I do have to let you know, just to be transparent, from last night, I hung out with the Chaos crew a little too late, a little bit late this morning, but I did get a little bit out of my Zama position again. I sold a fifth of my position when we did reach closer to the top up here. 2.49 is where I got out, right around here on Zama. And again, for those who've been following this this play with me and my Chaos crew, I did buy some more this morning. So of course, while we were here this morning, 8 to 8:30 a.m. on the little bit of a bounce here, in hopes to get a little bit better of an entry. There could be more pain coming soon, so this may not work out in my favor, but I at least bought in a little bit on the lower. And same thing with Gwei. I added my position when I took my profits from Zama into Gwei. So I keep adding to my position on Gwei, as Gwei is the most oversold, in my opinion, in some of our projects that we're looking at over on our Patreon. Guys, if you want to make money, no matter what direction we're going, join our Patreon. It's only $15 a month, less than a bottle of Tito's. Less than this $25 bottle of Tito's. Less than, of course, date with your mom. Less than the damage that Godzilla will do when he goes full on destruction. Of course, guys. Yeah, if you need some help, I encourage you to join us over there. We were up a little too late last night, but I had a lot of great questions from the community, and I had to stay a little late. That's why I'm a little late this morning on the live. All right. Let's get back over to doom scrolling and see what else Jimmy Kramer and friends have to say.
Because I think that you don't know whether AI is going to destroy it or not. I mean, look at Adobe. It's undersold.
Okay, they're talking about software and whether or not AI is just going to take its lunch. Let's take a look and see what else is going on with Doomberg. I'm talking about gold now.
Across
Crypto
the spectrum,
under pressure with gold.
Say, to your point, there are going to be certain industries, certain sectors, certain companies that are more affected than others, and the market will start to try to price that in. For the average investor, diversifying across the portfolio is going to be the safest way. And yes, bonds. I mean, the interest rates.
Bonds.
You're getting a return, right? The higher that interest rate, at the end of the day, you're getting a higher yield. So
yeah, but it's inflation. You're following inflation. Okay, let's see how the overall sentiment is going. Oh, the silly paper money. All right, let's go back here. Of course, the doomer boomers are going to jump back into the dollar and go back to bonds. Let's take a look and see how the stock market's faring with fear and greed this morning, sitting in extreme fear. Still a little higher today, though, even with these more concerns with Trump's rhetoric this morning. 19 right now in extreme fear, about 3 points higher than it was yesterday. 16 yesterday on the fear and greed index for the stock market. Crypto fear and greed now sitting at extreme fear at 10, about 2 points higher than yesterday. We did see it drop down to 8 again yesterday, just briefly. I think that was in the morning and afternoon. I don't even remember. And then, of course, the lowest we've ever seen has been about 5. We've been stuck in extreme fear now for, I think it's been 7 months. I mean, it's been a long ass time. Of course, riding the way down to the mini bear market we're in right now from 1010. So it's been 8 months. Has it really been that long? Oh my God, no way. No. It's been about 5 to 6 months, I think, since 1010. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's take a look and see the other headlines that are developing this morning. We reload this with the headlines. Again, if you guys didn't hear it, Trump said Iranian negotiators better hurry up and get serious soon. They better hurry up soon, because if they don't hurry up soon, he's a 5-day window and the bombs are going to drop.
When will then be now? Soon.
The peace bombs are coming soon. Gulf states that they are ready to self-defense as stance ships on the Iran war. It just seems like all we're doing over there is destroying infrastructure, much needed for the rest of the world economy. It's almost like a false flag operation to, again, get like a slowdown maybe on the global stage. Trump wants to squeeze Iran into peace talks with more troops, but it may backfire, analysts say. That's the current status on the war right now. Trump's military buildup in Iran states as more leverage rather than a prelude to a ground war, analyst says. The gap between that in Washington and Tehran remains wide on any near-term diplomatic off-ramp. The U.S. military reinforcements may not be enough against an adversary that has long prepared for this fight, says a defense expert. Obviously, they've been living in these conditions, and we have not. That's, of course, one aspect of it. The amount of troops they have, I still feel like is shrouded by sand, right? But shrouded by, of course, the terrain. What else we have here? Tom Brady, Apple, Iran war is sparing no major economy, but one looks to be hit harder than others. So I guess we can take a look at that. UK is predicted to be the worst hit by the Iran war and is developed by market counterparts. The OECD set an interim economic outlook on Thursday. The price of the gas pump, guys, has been pretty much wild here in the United States, but it's nothing compared to the backdrop in the rest of the world. Foreign markets hit devastated. I wouldn't say hit, devastated right now, with India, Australia, UK, everyone else, of course, facing the concerns of these higher global energy prices. All right, let's see what else we can get out. Let's take a look at Yahoo, because I don't think we're going to get anything else out of here. No other mentions here to crypto on CNBC. We did get a mention this morning from Eli. Was it Eli Lilly? Oh my God, no. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, I think, looking, of course, to be the next one to accept crypto for mortgages. All right. Let's see what else we got. Anything else? Yahoo. Let's go over to Yahoo. Yahoo. Trump urges Iran to negotiate a deal before it's too late. Same headlines over there. Google memory breakout spurs global chip maker sell-off. Is AI helping companies get more out of workers? Or maybe they're getting helping the workers get out. Helping employers get their workers out. That's what I'm looking at. Wall Street bonus pools jumped to a record for like $50 billion for 2025. Worst nightmare, analyst says, a warn of history's worst oil shock. Coming soon. 800-year-old principal may help find bottom to SP 500's 500 route. Scott Bessent praises the Bank of Europe as model for tighter oversight for Federal Reserve. Really? I'm not feeling any of these headlines, guys. Nothing here. Let's go back over to Doomberg, and then I guess we're going to do some doom scrolling. They're on break, and CNBC's on break. I guess we're going to get into doom scrolling. Okay, CNBC's back. Cool.
All these things were just, they like us. Well, like, just say, look, we're going to try to solve this because this is bad and the United States is right. I'm still waiting for countries to say the United States is right, but I think there's a reservation.
I mean, you get it more from the UAE,
right?
Than
I mean,
necessarily.
Pakistan being the interloper there. Pakistan is not exactly the
right. There's reports
democracy.
that they're trying to negotiate talks, and maybe JD Vance. That's
Turkey,
again not confirmed.
Democracy.
Right.
Yeah. Iran wants to talk to JD Vance.
Down 4%.
Well, because look, it's the deep seat worry.
So actually, the Cloudflare guy, CEO, actually called this.
How
the
about
deep
Matthew
seat.
Prince putting a
There you go,
tweet
Matthew
out.
Prince.
I thought Matthew went a little far afield from Cloudflare, which is a stock I like very much. But Matthew has every right to be able to comment on this, and I.
All right. Let's get into crypto news a little earlier. Seems like we're doing this almost every day now. It's like 9:45 right now. We have 15 minutes until the first major move at 10 a.m. Bitcoin still chopping around 69 some change, 69,500 right now on Bitcoin. A little bit of a leg up right there since the market opened. Let's take a look and see how the order books are looking on Bitcoin this morning. All right, what do we got? What do we got to work with here? Of course, bringing this to you for free is Kimba the White Snowline on YouTube, guys. Don't forget to, give him a like and subscribe. Also here as well, like, subscribe, do all the things, guys. I would really appreciate. Of course, it helps with the algos. You guys know the drill. All right, and of course, you don't need to pay for this. What do I mean by this? Someone in my Patreon asked me a lot last night about this. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on this because there is a product you can use for free, but it's very limited. Bookmap, right? Bookmap is, of course, why we go to Kimba for free, because we don't want to pay for what we get for free. Oh my gosh. All right, I just gotta get my Google to work. Okay, DuckDuckGo, that is. A Bookmap right here is what you pay for, about $30 a month if you want to use this product. Again, Kimba has this set up here for Bitcoin for free. Also, if you want to get a similar product, I did find this one last night. I guess it was put out here for a while. If you go to bookmap.web, there's actually a free version you can use right here. I think it's only available for like the major L1s, so like Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Atom. Is it Dot? Yeah, Dot. So Polkadot, Link, Chainlink. Some of the major altcoins, of course, are only on that list. You can't, of course, do the fun stuff, the little micro stuff. But yeah, same sort of product, of course. Basically a copycat on the order books, right? For the heat maps. But I do love, of course, my yours truly, Kimba, a little bit more than that free version. 69,000 right now, 800 being tested. We are shooting up like a rocket right now on Bitcoin. Order books are sitting flat, 12.6 billion in inflows, 12.9 billion in outflows right now on the overall volume. Pretty much, locked between horns and fangs. The bulls and the bears are at play this morning. We oversold this quite a bit. We are still stuck in a range, and we're still playing the range. Nothing has really changed. 69,000 to about 72. And the big picture, we're still between 68,000 and 76. Still, nothing's really changed. We did lose a little bit of ground last night, as you can see here on the daily, as we zoom in, and again, they've been defending that key area right around 69 to 70K for the last few days. Huge area of support was just lost this morning at 70K, and now we're trading around 69 for the next level. And it doesn't look like it's as strong as, of course, the one we just lost. So I feel like there's possibly a little bit more pain, and that takes us down to about 68,000. That's basically the trend line on Bitcoin. The middle of our parallel channel from just a few weeks ago. If I get back over there and show you. Yep, this one right here. What? Geez, this one right here. 68,800, 68,000. That's pretty much what we're testing right now. The bottom of our previous channel, our channel right now, which is of course the middle of our previous one here. All right, and again, we can still go as low as 65,000. 66,000, I guess, right now. Time has moved on, and still be on the trend. We still have not come back down to test the trend since the 22nd, since Sunday. And even then, we can still go down a little bit lower, and we'd still keep the trend intact, because we've been basically just producing higher lows on Bitcoin since the 2-5 event. That was, of course, the $60,000 Bitcoin candles. 45 minutes down to about 59.5, 59.8 on Bitcoin. All right, that's where we're at right now. Anything else to take away here while I got this up? Let's see. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Can I not move this? Okay, that's cool. This just like does this almost every other time. I just get stuck in my chart. All right. Anything else to take away here? You can see, of course, most of the bears our bulls are setting up shop at the golden pocket, hoping to get more loading up at around 65, 66K, 64,000. I think all the way down the golden pocket to about 62 now, 62. So between 66 and 62, that's basically our golden pocket right now. This is where the bulls want to load up and buy more. There's some more being added above 55K, but nothing really below it in any significant fashion since probably like 3 weeks ago, since like the 5th of March. So we've been pretty much stagnant here, lower than 55 in terms of overall action on the order books. So it looks like most of the action is still going to be between the lower 60s and the higher 70s. Anything else? I guess again they're still setting up shop, the bears, looking at printing a little bit higher too and defending a little bit higher, 85K within again the last week. That's all the action's pretty much been, and then loading up in that key area where they're defending right now, about 76 and higher. That's about it. In the last week, you can see all the new added areas here, pushing our entire market a little bit higher in these moves. All the larger areas, of course, of the last week represented. And mostly lower too in the last week. So you can see where we've kind of gone from the last month being more bullish to a little bit more bearish in just the amount of areas that have been put up for shorts higher, right? They're just defending one key area right now, and that's about 76,000. So it is possible we do go down a little bit lower heading into next week if we continue these fears in the energy sector and of course the war in Iran, etc., etc. Yeah, you can definitely see that in the day. All right, that's where we are going. That's where we're going, apparently. If we cannot get back above 72,000, more pain expected into the weekend, and then hopefully a recovery by Sunday. I do have to remind you, though, this could all come to a screaming halt by tomorrow afternoon, as options will expire for Bitcoin tonight at between midnight and 3 a.m., I believe. Here in the States, it'll be Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow afternoon, 12 to 3. Yeah, again, 12 to 3. All the options will expire on Bitcoin in the futures contracts. So when that does happen, I think it's going to be a little bit exciting. That's of course the last Friday of the month. As always, guys, reminding you, I would love to be a little bit lower before we do enter that, though. So maybe we can get down to that 68, 66K level. Right before the main event. You guys have seen me do this so many times. The idea around this is that we go in there into the next month, of course, oversold, the more likelihood of us continuing the trend upward with the momentum we have later. More opportunities for people to buy, and of course, more opportunities for longs to play out. All right, that's pretty much the update we have right now on the Bitcoin. Long overdrawn. Overdrawn out explanation, but that's where we are. 69,800. We still got legs so far in the morning. Oversold. The forward market basically gave us a dip on a silver platter. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the rest of the sentiment. I want to do one more round of doom scrolling before I do that, though. Check up with you guys in the chat as well. Doomberg's coming back with an update.
For you, certainly Bitcoin isn't. That's down 1.8%. And then the price of crude in New York now up 3%. Brent crude up 3.8%.
Damn.
It was up more at one point this morning. It was up more than 5%. But all of that coming off the back of this idea that Iran is responding. And they sent a response to the U.S., and they're now waiting what the U.S. has to say. So that rise in the price of oil, it's already impacting consumers making travel plans. United CEO warning of airline ticket price hikes, and USPS adding a new 8% surcharge for packages. Let's discuss the ripple effects with Will Kennedy, Bloomberg News director for EMEA. Will, I thought it was supposed to be a U.S. that was more insulated. It's energy independent. The price of NYMEX crude isn't as high as it is in Brent. So why are we now starting to see corporations struggling or adding additional costs because of what things like jet fuel and diesel are doing at the moment?
Thanks for having me on, Danny. Well, even at $93, oil is considerably higher than it was at the start of the year. NYMEX had traded.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna listen to this wet blanket. Holy hell. Okay, we're moving on. CNBC, one more test on CNBC. Let's see what's going on over here as we still test 70K, losing it, of course, this morning. They're on break. Take a look at the end of this commercial. Maybe they'll come back, and maybe not. Check out with you guys in the chat. Nope, they're not coming back. How you guys doing in the chat? Let's catch up with you guys in the chat this morning. Happy Hippo Dump. Yes, good morning. Welcome to the dump.
They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps. I wouldn't say it's massive. Bitcoin's only down a percent or two. Yes, IP Story needs some coffee, bro. Ooh, easy. Ooh, easy. Where is IP Story? We got to get to the overall sentiment. We can finish that up over on the crypto end. Let's take a look at that real quick. Now that you reminded me, I'll get back to the chat when I'm done. IP's now down 40% on the month. Still, nothing really changed there. 62 cents. Damn. Maybe I should have rolled some of those profits from Zama I just took last night into a story. That would have been probably a good idea this morning. But I did that. I threw it into Gwei anyway. Still hanging out down here on support. So still a little bit higher than my entry, but still looking pretty good. Still holding the trend. Again, I just got a little bit out, a fifth of my position out of Zama and just threw it into Gwei when we came back down on the way. Gwei, do you know the way? Do you know the way? Are you Gwei? Why are you not Gwei? All right, let's get back to it. Crypto bubbles right now. Any opportunities here on the day? There's a lot of blood so far. It looks like only down 2.8% so far this morning. Down 3.1% on the top 200. River is the most oversold with Siren 15 and 18% on those two assets. We also got Kite down 12%. Of course, everything else in the market is bleeding out a little bit here. But where is the opportunity? Well, those three I just mentioned. Obviously, there's been a lot of trending capital going in and out of those projects. On the weekly, let's take a look and see what else we got. We're looking for 15 and 20% here on the weekly. DCR and River. It's all you got. Decred and River, the most oversold right now on the week, and I wouldn't really pay attention to most of those. Dot also down about 11%. Kind of curious as to why. This has had a decent run in the last month or so, but it just kind of came back down. Pretty much erased all those gains almost from the month. So I'm interested to see where it goes, but I do like Dot. I haven't held it in a long time, but good things I think are coming for Dot in its future. On the year, still down 71%, still pretty oversold on the year. But again, not enough to really shake me into it, I guess. Going back into the monthly, looking for assets that are down at least 30%. There's not a damn single one. You got to go out to the 3-month, and even then, I'm looking for at least 50% on a 3-month pullback. Say is the closest thing we got with Arbitrum. That's it. And I like Say. Say down almost 50% on the 3 months. Not too bad. ENA is also down 51%. Those are what I'm looking at here. Again, I've never had to go back to the 3-month, guys. It looks like we are bottoming out. All the capital is left. I keep telling you guys, there's like only $200 billion going back and forth in the last 2 months. And it's all just kind of going in and out of everything. Let's take a look and see what else we got going on the top 200. Same sort of idea, looking for DCA opportunities. There is nothing in the top 100 right now. Taking a look at the on the day, we got Bard down another 8% on the day. Damn, I can't wait to see how much that's oversold now on the week and the monthly. Akash, right? Akash that just had a decent run here recently. Just ran up 100% on the month, right? We talked about that over on my Patreon. If you guys are part of that over there. Tibber is down 10%. Who's in Tibber? That's Ribita by Virtuals. I have no idea what the hell that is. Obviously, it's probably just a meme coin. Bulldon is down 7%. Those are the biggest movers on the day. Looking at the weekly here in the top 200, Bard is down now 30% on the week. IP is down to another 20% on the weekly. Fluid is down 21%. I wonder if IP is now down closer to 50%. The highest I think we've ever seen it oversold is about 45 on the monthly. Again, it's been one of the only assets I've been looking at picking up more of on the monthly. Let's take a look at the monthly. The monthly still IP is only 40% off, and Bard is about 43% off. Again, Bard was at the beginning of this week, the end of last week, 50% off on the month. Has the pain stopped? Has the pain stopped for Bard? Again, it's a pretty new project. Has just found its bottom. Is this the bottom for Bard? And I think the entire sell-off started from a tweet or a social post. I don't really know enough about it. Humanity token 33% off, and Ultimate 25. Again, those are the only assets that are really oversold here on the monthly. Lighter coin, of course, down 32% on the month. Has not had a good run so far. Nothing but down and to the right since the launch of Lighter. And I know crypto influencers have been talking about Lighter in a positive light. Positive lights.
What are you, stupid?
But I mean, it's nothing but oversold. Okay, all right. So again, take that with what you will, guys. This is my 2 sats. I wish there was more, but there is not. Again, live, fight another day. Play the ranges if you can. Make some money while you have the time.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right. Anything else going on with you guys in the chat? Let's catch up with you guys again. Happy Hippo Dump. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Easy also here. IP story needs some coffee, bro. Yes. Need more coffee. Neb saying, I hear you. Easy for long. What? Time for long. Maybe next week. I would say wait to see what Trump's going to do over the weekend. Florida Man says, we're going down to 45K. Come on. Every day you guys keep, I whip my hair back and forth between 50 and of course 70, 50 and 80. Let me see how you guys are feeling today. You guys are just all over the place every day. I love it though. I love the chaos. All right. What happens first? Right? A classic. What happens first? We're just gonna do how about 50K or 80K? There we go. That is a good. Yeah, it's a 20. That's a 20. No, that's about 10. Okay, we gotta do. How about 59K or 79K? A 10K split, right? A 10K split from where we are now. 59K or a 79K? Trying to confuse you guys. Play some mind games with those numbers, because if it's not a full number, it's actually cheaper. Just like what we pay at the stores, $4.99 instead of $5. It's just cheaper. That 1 penny is cheaper. Let's get back in the chat. Yeah, wow. Bloomberg said she had quite a script intro. I wonder what narrative is being shaped for. Says Cliff. About 20K is still good, right? Still okay. What? 20K? What are we talking about? Happy Joy. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Joy.
I don't think you're happy enough. I'll teach you to be happy. I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs. I told you.
I'm happy no matter what direction.
But you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me? Happy, joy, joy. Happy, joy, joy. Happy, joy, joy, joy.
I just spilled the rest of my coffee everywhere. Geez, happy, Joyce. How you doing, John? Also, John Doe in the morning. Good morning. We also got Andy. Stupid Trump. Stupid Trump in the Happy Hippo Dump this morning. Past seconds. Good morning, Chaos Crew. Good morning, Leo. And everyone. Higher global energy prices, man. It's like you pump oil straight out of the ground and it goes straight into the gas station, says Cliff. Woo, 69,600 on Bitcoin. Pulling back a little bit on the wick. We just entered 10 a.m. candles, and it looks like they're starting to wick down right now on the 10 o'clock. 69.6. Looks like 69.5 is holding so far. I would say maybe another quick bounce to 69.3 and see if we can get that going for another leg up in a bit for the 10:30. Candle. We'll see how that plays out. What else going on in the TradFi? Stocks are lower. Let's see just how low is S&P 500 right now. We did open about 1 point lower. Now we're only about a third of a point lower on the S&P 500. Let me get back to this chart. I've been showing you guys, of course, this is where I think we've been going to go. And we're starting to get a little bit of chop down here, a little bit of maybe building structure, about 6,400. But yeah, we're trying to get back above support right now on SP 500, 65.5. Not that I care, but yeah, I still think this is the trajectory, of course, moving forward. This was, of course, the trend. We had done the same sort of thing last year around the same exact time. Of course, I showed you guys how this would probably play out just last month. and it's still going. It's still going in effect. So cool beans. We'll see if the war ends earlier than we expect. Again, this war was only supposed to last 4 to 6 weeks. I think that was the original plan. Trump said yesterday, "Oh, it's going swimmingly. Oh, it's going so well. We're actually ahead of schedule." Nobody knows what the hell's going on. All right, let's get back to it. War impact on corporate America. This is coming from KB Home, a CEO on Iran impacts. We saw pretty good sales results in the first week of March, but the last couple of weeks have been a little softer than what we would like to see, or what we are normally get at this time of year, and we just don't have a lot of visibility right now. I don't think if anybody knows how long this is going to conflict to go on, and it's going and on how it's going to impact consumer psyche and the confidence. But we feel that right now is weighing on the consumer. Yes, all the consumers right now paying way too much everywhere they go. And Nintendo, speaking of which, in my wheelhouse, you guys know I love video games, switch to cuts production. Just came out, I think, yesterday. The switch to looking to cut production because of consumer demand fell during the holiday season. They're actually cutting back like 35%. Look at that, 33% after big holiday sale. Failure. So the consumers cannot even afford to play video games anymore, and yeah, that's, of course, they can't they cannot afford a $500 luxury item in 2026. You just can't do that. Not when gas prices are an average of America right now, $4 a gallon, and of course the rest of the market impact with groceries are going to rise probably 3 to 5% in the next month or so if this war continues. This is ridiculous, guys. Of course, we cannot afford anything anymore, and that's why you need to be stacking Bitcoin. 69,000 a steal right now, and of course the market open about $2,000 lower than we were yesterday. Let's take a look and see what else we got from Doomberg, and then get into some crypto news. This time we're 5 minutes late actually on Doomberg. On doom scrolling on crypto news. Let's get started over there. Cryptonews.net. Bitcoin has traded in tight range for nearly 50 days, but this is not a bear flag. It is not a bear flag. Marathon Holdings are higher by 10% after selling $1.1 billion in Bitcoin to fund a debt buyback. We have anything else? Solana Foundation executives predicts AI agents set to drive 99% of on-chain transactions in just 2 years. That's, of course, coming back off the agentic AI concerns. We just saw maybe some weakness of that, too. XRP yesterday came out and was trying to get out on the rise of XRP fees, and one of their explanations was, well, there's a lot more agentic AI involvement now, and it could be also why some of these fees are going higher, because the on-chain activity is again now a little bit more linked to AI. And I feel like all it takes, if you wanted to really do a DDoS attack, just throw a bunch of bots, have a whole bunch of OpenClaw like algorithms just like trading XRP back and forth, because they were saying they can only facilitate about 200 transactions per second on the XRPL ledger. What else we got going on? Shiba Inu price analysts, yeah, AI predicts nonsense. It's all just hopium and FUD articles for the most part. US recession odds near 50%. Really? We came back to no way. I got to get back and check this over on Polymarket. Of course, just yesterday and the day before, it was sitting at 35%. We flipped 3 coins 2 days ago, and we were not going to go into recession. Let's see if we can just flip 1 coin today. That'd be fun. Recession. Oh, it's not in the top. Come on. How is it not in the top listings? Come on. Recession by the end of 2026. Polymarket right now is only showing 1% higher than it was just a day ago. So I'm not too excited for that yet. Probably Kalshi or some other, of course, predictions model. War impact on corporate America. Let's just go back to CNBC real quick.
And we hang here. We have some breaking news on and around. We got to get to Eamon Javers in Washington.
Whatever happened to Lisa Cook? Is Lisa Cook, guys? Let me know in the chat if Lisa Cook is cooked.
Now talking to Reuters in the past couple of moments, and Reuters reporting that the senior Iranian official is effectively rejecting U.S. proposals to end the war. Here's what Reuters has just over the past couple of moments. They say the senior Iranian official tells them that Iran has reviewed the U.S. proposal that was conveyed invade via Pakistan. The official says this is one-sided and unfair. It serves only U.S. and Israeli interests. The official also says that Iran's initial response, which was also conveyed to Pakistan, was that the proposal lacks the minimum requirements for success. They say there's still no arrangement for negotiations, no plan for talks that appear realistic at this stage. The one thing that the official says here in this interview with Reuters that may be encouraging for financial markets, Mike, is that diplomacy has not stopped. And if realism prevails in Washington, a path forward may still be found. So I read this, Mike, very much as the Iranian side rejecting the American proposal and saying this doesn't go anywhere near where we need it to be. And so that is maybe the first step in negotiations. You know, each side has now offered proposals. We saw those Iranian proposals yesterday, which included total sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. They're demanding reparations and war damage payments from the United States. Those proposals also presumably non-starters. So in any negotiation, you've got to get all the non-starter positions on the table and then off the table before you can get down to brass tacks. So maybe this is indicative of some movement in terms of negotiations, but the Iranians suggesting now that the American proposal is unrealistic at this point.
Amen. At the same time, we've seen the U.S. mobilize thousands more troops to go to the region. What are you hearing in Washington are the president's options from here if these negotiations don't work and we're
bomb Iran? That's the option. That's the only option. All right. Bitcoin's still sitting around 69.6, 69.7 this morning. What else we got this morning at CNBC? Bloomberg. Anyone else got anything new? Talking about Venture Global. All right, we're getting back to crypto news. It is bouncing back and forth. All right, let's take a look at what Cointelegraph has this morning. Circle hints at 25% rebound as market shuns Clarity Act fears. Looks like everyone, of course, is getting exhausted over this stupid narrative anyway. I think it's not really going to matter much for Bitcoin or the majority of crypto, whether or not stablecoins get yield. Screw the dollar. Elon Musk taps ex-Aave product chief Benji Taylor to lead design. I'm feeling any of these articles just suck this morning. NVIDIA investor class action lawsuit advances over crypto mining revenue. That's interesting, but that's clickbait. I'm not really going to fall for it. U.S. recession odds near 50%. Who the hell said that, man? That's the second time I saw that headline. U.S. recession fears multiplied this week as BlackRock's Larry Fink warned of a global downturn over oil prices and Bitcoin still tied to stocks. Okay. Again, we'll have to wait. It looks like Kalshi has gone up to 36%. Polymarket, I just showed you guys with 36% as well. And Crypto Quant is showing recession odds nearing 50%. All right, Crypto Quant. Moody's Analytics has a probability in the next 12 months to be 48.6%. I do like the coin flip. I do. Coinbase opposes stablecoin compromise in the Senate crypto bill. Here's a report as of 8 hours ago. We covered a little bit of this yesterday. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it today. Coinbase is reportedly still pushing back against the stablecoin yield provisions in the Senate's crypto market structure bill, a move that has derailed past efforts to advance the legislation. Crypto exchange Coinbase is reportedly against the latest compromise over the stablecoin yields that the Senate is looking to include in the crypto market structure bill. Coinbase representatives told Senate lawmakers in a meeting on Monday that they had concerns over the language around stablecoin yields and the new compromise versions of the bill. Punchbowl News reported on Wednesday, citing for 4 people briefed on the exchange. A proposal that circulated early this week that had been reportedly preventing third parties such as exchanges from paying stablecoin yields, a measure that made of addressing banks' concerns over the risk of deposit flights. Of course, you guys heard me talk about this now for a freaking year. It's ridiculous, so we're still talking about it. Coinbase is still one of the largest crypto lobbyists in the United States, with the withdrawal of support for the bill in January came before the Senate Bank Committee indefinitely postponed the markup and advanced the legislation. It's so much postponed it that we haven't actually had talks in the last 3 or 4 weeks. We finally got back to it this week, and from what I've heard, and I haven't seen it reported, but I've heard some people on crypto Twitter say that a lot of these policymakers were given, industries were given the new markup, right? The new markup, and had only about a half hour to look over like 300 to 600 pages, right, on this bill. And of course, not enough time, of course, and they weren't able to take it back with them. Republican Senator Tom Tillis, the Democratic Senator Angela Brooks, also leading the latest effort to advance the bill, and talks are reportedly ongoing. Coinbase did not immediately respond to the question, of course, comment. This is where we are right now. Cool, bro. Cool beans, bro. Yeah, so nothing type of news type of day, guys. Australia's central banks back tokenization as pilot fight finds $16.7 billion upside. Australia also hit really hard by the oil and energy crisis right now in the world. They're also getting off the dollar and, of course, looking at gold and possibly Bitcoin soon for the central banks. U.S. lawmakers hash out tokenized securities concerns. This is we're getting into the weeds here 16 hours ago. Let's get back over to Doomberg. Make sure we're not missing anything breaking. Whatever happened to Lisa Cooks? Let me know if you guys know in the chat. U.S. and Iran wrangle over talks with no end to the war yet in sight. Again, they're just talking about the same thing we heard over on CNBC probably just a few minutes ago. Let's get back into how about CoinDesk? Anything over at CoinDesk? Marathon Holdings higher than 10% after selling 1.1 billion in Bitcoin. It's the same headlines everywhere. It's really nothing. Let's go over to crypto news, of course, on Twitter, the real news platform over on Twitter. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things down below in the chat. Also, if you guys want to get your plays going over on the Patreon, hopefully this works out for me. Again, being transparent about it, I did, of course, sell some of my Zama position. Yes, we're in Zama right now, looking at, of course, our entries on Zama. If you guys are not in Zama and you want to be, I can give you a good entry if you join into, of course, our Patreon. It's only $15 a month, guys. $15 a month to become a Patreon member and get the help that you need in crypto. All right. And I did, I did reposition myself. I told some of you guys at the beginning of my live, I did sell close to the top. I got out about 2.49. Watching, of course, the pullback from 2.52 early this morning when I got off the Zoom call with you guys last night on the Patreon live. Of course, we do a live show where you can participate every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, of course, into the weekend as well. If you guys want to hang out with the Chaos crew, you can do that and have a good time. We've been having a good time. I've been having a good time, especially since I was able to take advantage of this pullback and buy some more down here this morning, as well as loading up back up on Gwei as it hits support again today. I do like Gwei, man. That just shot up another, what was it? 30%, 30% in just the last 24 hours, 48 hours. And a pullback here has been a good range to be buying on, of course, the move back up. Anyway, if you guys want some more of those plays, let me know. Of course, jump back over into, the Patreon. All right, let's get into more news. America asshole. Easy, what the hell? Just make me say this is scream random things. All right, the White House right now is posting more propaganda probably. Let's take a look and see what we got. What in the world is this? Okay. Coming from the White House right now. They're gonna make you I guess look for it. It looks like a flag. I don't know. What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? What are we doing, man? Okay. Is the White House having technical difficulties? What in the world? IDK. I don't know what's going on. That was just posted by the White House 12 hours ago. We just got we got a flag. Okay. Chinese company Unipath has launched a household robot that is now a real home use. It can wake up users up on time, operate home appliances, organize storage spaces, and even cook meals automatically. You are being replaced. You are already being replaced, guys. I showed you guys this as well yesterday. The pizza robot. You are replaced. It's happening. It's already here. He make the pizza. Yes, he make the pizza. He put the cheese on it, one piece at a time. He put the toppings on. He throw it in oven. And then he serve it and boxes it up and ready to go. Here, your order is ready. Done. Handing it to the customer. Last step. Oh no, just passing it off probably to the driver. I don't know what the hell. I guess you're gonna drop it off on the table now. Okay, cool. Reflex. That's, of course, one of the new robotics. What in the world am I looking at? Here we go. More, of course, doom scrolling. Metroid Zero Mission model is now the preliminary Vice Minister of the Environment. What the hell am I looking at? Okay. The model for Metroid Zero Mission. Like back in the Game Boy Advance days? No way. I'm assuming so. Yeah, Saine Takaichi, I guess, pictured with I guess the model from Nintendo's marketing back in 2000, and that would have been 2003, I think, 2003, 2004, when Metroid Zero Mission came out. Zero Mission, yeah. All right, okay. Breaking $4 trillion Federal National Mortgage Association to accept Bitcoin-backed mortgages for the first time. Yeah, Fannie Mae, and we talked about that this morning. Doomberg opened with it this morning, right? Fannie Mae to accept crypto-backed mortgages for the first time, and again, it's not the first person to do so, but yeah, more companies are again accepting crypto for mortgages. Breaking, Coinbase yet again rejects the Senate stablecoin yield as of 10 hours ago on the compromise. Coinbase pushes back on the latest Crypto Act, Clarity Act draft, warning the proposed rules could limit how stablecoin yields are structured across the industry. The current language bans passive yield while allowing activity-based rewards under a broader economic equivalence standard. Without Coinbase's backing, the bill faces an uncertain path for the stall, of course, indefinitely if not passed by May. Gotta get this stuff done, guys. We gotta get this stuff done, or we could be seeing a further down trend. What else we got here? Breaking, Iran moves to charge tolls to the Strait of Hormuz. This is not new. We talked about this last week. They're charging, $2 million again for passage. What else we got? Stretch your imagination from Stretch, Michael Saylor, more Elon Musk, tweeting more AI girls. What else is new? He must be really horny. Just in, Google sets in, he's probably looking for another wife. Not even a wife, another baby maker. Okay. Just in, Google sets 2029 decline as the quantum threat looms over Bitcoin. Google set the 2029 deadline for the post-quantum cryptography migration, warning quantum risks are approaching faster than expected, which is fine because we do have a new update coming by the end of the year. I think by the third quarter this year, the Bitcoin devs are looking to enact quantum resistant technology on Bitcoin. Of course, increasing the encryption standards for Bitcoin soon. For Bitcoin, this raises long-term concerns over the wallet security and private keys. While no immediate threat exists, Quantum Day could expose vulnerable addresses. And the vulnerable addresses, again, I just had this conversation last night with my Patreon. The vulnerable addresses are only going to be the Origin wallets, the Satoshi era wallets, right? From 2009, 10, and onward to about 2012. I think we stopped using that around 2012, 2015, when a lot of the hardware devices were, again, developed in significant encryption. So your ledger, your treasure, your your other typical standard wallets we have today are not really going to be affected until much later. Your bank accounts are more at risk, of course, than your hardware wallets, unless again you're using like a age-old encryption model using a thumb drive or a hard drive that's of course stuck in a landfill. Of course, we had some fun talking about that last night on the Patreon. Join, of course, the Patreon's only $15 a month, guys. If you want to have conversation with us on the back end on the evening hours. All right, Japan's 2-year yield climbs 1.3%, marking the highest level in nearly 3 decades. The 2-year yield and multi-decade highs. The 10-year is above 2.3%, and the 30-year is sitting at 3.5%. For context, Japan kept interest rates near zero for 30 years. That's right, since I was born. Yeah, generation of Japanese investors never knew what a normal rate environment felt like. And here is why that matters in Japan. Japanese institutions are the largest foreign holders of the U.S. treasuries and European bonds in the world. For the last 30 years, they bought foreign bonds because the domestic yield paid nothing. nothing. And now Japanese bonds actually pay. That changes the math. Why earn 4.2% in the U.S. Treasury with currency risk when a Japanese bond now pays 2.3% at home with zero currency risk? If Japanese money starts coming home, even partially, it pushes the yields higher in the U.S., Europe, and Australia. This is a tighter financial conditions for the entire world without a single central bank doing anything. The Bank of Japan is not even doing and done hiking. We've been getting these hikes. We've actually been staying up for these rate decisions over the last few months. I don't think they had one this month. We didn't hear nothing about it, or unless we already did it. I don't even remember. Did we do it for March? I feel like we just did it for January and February. Again, more coming soon for Japan. Coinbase and Fannie Mae partner with Better Homes to finance or launch Bitcoin-backed mortgages. Of course, we talked about that. That's all it seems to be the rage right now with crypto Twitter. Just in, Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital sells 15,000 Bitcoin worth over $1 billion an hour as of an hour ago. That might be why we're seeing the significant pullback we're seeing right now today. We're just going to see that definitely on the let's take a look. They might have already sold it within the last couple of days and just announcing it today too. Let's take a look at CoinGlass and see what we got on the balance sheet of these exchanges to see if we can see the pullback today. And of course, it would be an uptick, right? An uptick. And I think we're seeing it. Not yet. It'll probably be there tomorrow. As of today, we're still sitting around 2.45 million. I'm sure these changes will be reflected tomorrow. As that would be an uptick, probably be back to about 2.47. Again, if you're looking at that. And no one buys it up today. What else we got? Home sellers are now outnumber buyers by 630,000, the largest gap ever recorded in the housing market. That's insane. That's insane. My father and my parents, my mother and my father, both sold their home. They finally sold their home, guys. So they're out of this. This chaos is going to ensue in the coming months. Oh God, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. That deal just went down just a couple days for my family. It means I'm probably going to be more busier again in the next 2 months, helping them move. 6 trillion Morgan Stanley crypto holders are moving into TradFi. Morgan Stanley with 6.2 trillion. Their Bitcoin ETF is coming, guys. They said they were going to release it this week, but again, talking with my Patreon last night, I don't think it's coming this week. It's probably going to be next week now. But yeah, they're coming. They're coming in.
Okay, so that gives us a sense of what's on the table here for the rest of this year. Last week, I noticed that Morgan Stanley filed for a Bitcoin ETF under the ticker MSBT. And if approved, Morgan Stanley would then become the first major U.S. bank to directly issue and sponsor your own spot Bitcoin ETF. Why do this now? There's a whole suite of spot Bitcoin ETFs. What does having your own spot Bitcoin ETF allow you?
I have to keep something for the following weeks. I don't want to talk too much about it until that finally becomes effective, but I think you'll see some of the reasons that we're doing that as that goes live. And I think there's still a lot to do in terms of the ETP side. We're still seeing most of that activity coming through the self-directed business on the Wealth channel, and many other intermediary platforms, even beyond the Wealth platform that we manage, does continue to need to bring more of those products to market. So there's definitely more we can do here.
All right. It's coming soon. Probably in the beginning of April. Again, it's only about a week or two away. What else? Anything else? Crypto-backed mortgages. Coinbase is tweeting that as well. Everyone's talking about that more and more. Just in, Russian President Putin slams Western leaders for their silence on the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran. They signaled all sorts of letters at the start of the Ukraine conflict. Yet these lovers of the epistolary arts, okay, haven't written anything about the current tragic events. Okay, I don't know, Putin. This is massive. Bitcoin winning, really? As of 2 hours ago, winning. So much winning, guys. So much winning. All right. And of course, the intricacies of these robots still advancing further and further. They're building themselves. We talked about that just months ago. Okay, same stuff. Visa will join Canton Network as the super validator, aiming to bring privacy-preserving blockchain payments and stablecoin infrastructure to banks and financial institutions. Again, Canton back in the headlines again today. All right. Let's get back over to Doomberg. One more run. Again, about 3 minutes away from 10:30. Next big move on Bitcoin coming soon. Maduro back to court as he fights for a narco-terrorism case.
Outcry
Haven't heard nothing about
muted,
this
so it will be
in
interesting
a
to
week.
see their reactions after today, and as this case really gets going, because they need to give lip service to support of Maduro to keep their apparatus in place and to play to their base that is still in power, but they also don't want to antagonize the Trump administration when they have what seems to be a somewhat functioning relationship between these two governments.
Yeah, so it's walking a tightrope, really.
Yes.
That was a very political question, Paul Sweeney.
I know.
Christina Ruffini, thank you so much. Christina Ruffini is a foreign affairs journalist here at Bloomberg and host of Bloomberg This Weekend on Bloomberg Radio and
All right, what
Bloomberg
else? What do you got?
Television,
What do we
and of course outside
Anything?
the Southern District of New York
What do?
courthouse. Let's get a check on
Okay.
how this is all
Checking
shaking
on,
out for
Maduro
the
case.
markets.
Cool.
Clearly, the Venezuelan case is not what's driving markets. It's all about oil
No.
prices, and oil prices right now are
Oh God! Okay, they're
more
done
than
with it.
3%.
All right. So again, not much of an update there. His original case was supposed to be on the 17th. It's been drawn out now to the 26th, and we're sitting on our hands, I guess, waiting to see what happens there. I don't know. I still feel like this whole thing was orchestrated. Anyway, what else we got? Jim Cramer in the last 5 hours says so difficult to commit to any capital when you know that there will be a down opening the next day, almost no matter what. That's what I was planning on too, with my Zama pullback, and of course sell. We'll see what else we get. The markets could of course come back at any time for any reason. All right, guys, I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you. 10:30 right now. We could take a look back in the chat real quick, catch up with you guys, hang out for a little bit longer, see if we're gonna get any move on the 10:30. Then I gotta go run to the post office. Again, announced this morning, shipping company is looking to increase up to 8%. 8%. Damn it, I'm trying to sell shit. And I gotta, of course, go back to the post office again today to ship out some more orders. Selling shit. All right, let's see, anything else happening right now on Bitcoin? Take a look at the open orders also as well. This is my idea since the morning open. Getting, of course, another test down. We already tested a little bit lower. Getting it back down to what, 69.3, and of course another breakout could come soon. All right, let's see what else is going with you guys in the chat as we wait for something to happen. Bitcoin shit or get off the pot this morning. All right, I love the smell of 69. I ask you guys, of course, in the chat, what comes first, 59 or 79, as we play around at 69. And you guys are calling for 59. You guys are ridiculous. I cannot. You guys are ridiculous.
Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. Take your fiat currency and feed the fire.
We need to feed the fire, guys. What are you doing? Pulling it back out. Calling for 59. Guys, we were down there last time. We haven't come back again. We have not come back again. Unless we see some big black swan event, I don't think we will at this point. It's been higher lows now for 2 months. 2 months straight. What are we doing? You guys are asking for this. Break of the entire trend. Back down to 59. 59. I mean, just zoom out. Zoom out a little bit. Zoom out again. Do I have to go into the whole rant about we've only been under this area? We've only touched it for 45 minutes on that one day. And then we had a couple close calls here to 63K, nothing lower than that. And then, of course, anything being underwater, we've only been actually, if you go to the daily chart, we've only been under 69K for about a total of 12 days in the last 2 months. So that's, again, putting things in perspective, right? The amount of time, and are you going to be a buyer? Are you even going to buy Bitcoin if it hits 59K? That's the thing. Most people say they want it, but they're not even going to buy the underlying asset they're talking about, right? I don't know, man. I don't know.
What are you, stupid?
Anyway, like and subscribe, you scallywags. Coming in from Jake the Snake, of course, the King of Ohio. Good morning, Jake the Snake. How you doing? The King has risen from his throne. EZ says America is asshole. America asshole. The truth is out there, says Cliff. The truth is out here. You've been saying that this morning. That's Scully. From the X-Files. That's the Strait of Hormuz. Yes, Strait Strait of Hormuz. Sunni versus Shia. The only reason for the Middle East and Arab Persian war coming from ghost operations. Israel is just an argument. Interesting. Of course, makes you think, of course, their ghost operations. Central casting coming from Cliff. Let's see what we got over here. As we wait for Bitcoin to shit or get off the pot. Central casting straight out says, can anyone be so obvious? Oblivious. Okay. IDK? I don't know. What is this?
I was like central casting.
Central, hey, you know what? Any central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
And these are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
What the hell? IDK, man, IDK. That video was 3 minutes long. All right. I love the smell of 69K in the morning, says Jake the Snake. Yes. It's a good morning. In the morning. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Hit the buttons, guys. Hit the buttons down below. Bitcoin conference general admission $400 to $500. Pro pass $1,300. Well pass is now $10K. Guys, get your, of course, tickets before the prices continue to go up. Though, of course, they're gonna go up one more time just next month. I think the overall price at the door is gonna be $500. That's usually how much it is at the end of all these. The waiting period. Jake the Snake says, no man's land currently. What if I want 50K just for the love of the game? I know you do. You've been hanging out down there for too damn long, Jake. Too damn long. It has not come down to see you. I wish you well. King. I wish you well. God. Even the Super Bear target will not give you any love. Of course, I draw that down there for you every day in hopes that you get what you deserve. But maybe you don't deserve it. But that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. Michael Saylor said that famously, right? Everyone gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. And if you want 59K or 58K or 55K or 50K and you don't get it, well, you get the price you deserve. You get nothing, sir. Good day, sir. Good day. 69,700 on Bitcoin. Chopping back up again. 2 tests, $70,000 on our outro. It's 10:35 right now. The most of the move has already happened. Again, you have to wait a couple more hours for the intraday trading session to really begin. Possibly coming back up to retest 70,000. Pretty getting rejected maybe around 1 o'clock and maybe a breakout later at around the close, right? Maybe we'll get to about 71,000 by the end of today's trading session. It's a pretty good day, buy the dip type of day, right? The foreign market gave us, of course, a yin-yang trade. That's right, a yin-yang trade, guys. Yin-yang trade. Of course, giving us another reversal, possibly coming soon for the end of today's market. Again, anything's possible. Iran, of course, and Israel are sleeping right now, or trying to sleep, as the bombs are flying back and forth. It's possible that, this just continues, and we get some more news as the day goes on from the Trump administration. But for the most part, Trump's pretty much open book, pretty obvious what's going to happen. We're going to have the deal, right? We're going to have the deal go through. It's going to happen, or they're going to get bombed. They're going to get bombed. And by the end of the day, we're going to have some other rhetoric from the Trump administration, of course, keep the markets up until we go into the weekend. And then we're going to see more bombs drop and more chaos ensue. And then in the morning, oh, they didn't do it, so we did our thing. And we have got good talks now with whatever nations are neighboring or whatever nonsense. Iran's got this deal. Yeah, we're going to get a gift. It's going to be great. It's so stupid. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Have a great day today, and I'll see you all again tonight. Again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We, of course, have our late night talk show on crypto. I'll see you all again there. Too much winning, guys. Too much winning.
Win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Again, soon. Later.
Fly me to the moon. Let me trade among the stars. Let me see what freedom's like without money and gold bars. In other words, hold my key. Oh! In other words, let's make history. Oh! Fill my world with more wrongs and let me huddle forevermore and more and more and more and more. I want more. Hollywood shop in the door. In other words, I should
And just before I go, my Zama milkers out there, if you're still with me in the audience, again, after the credits, I'll give you a little taste of what's to come. Of course, last night I was hanging out with you guys on the Patreon. I showed you this move still playing out with a retracement down to at least a support level of 237, and it could go a little lower. It actually could go down to maybe 2.3 flat or 2.35. So again, watch for the pullback. I already got my entry in when we hit that support level. And next leg up, of course, to retest a breakout, possibly coming soon. 2.59 cents coming soon for Zama on the next move up. Huge, massive gains if you guys got in when we did. That is, of course, going to be our first major breakout at about 35% on the meat of that move, and 35%, and then all the way up 70 when we hit about that $75 million market cap. Again, coming soon, but so far I've been looking at a $50 million market cap holding. And Gwei, why are you Gwei? Why are you not Gwei? That's the real question. The big red Gwei says easy in the chat. Doing the similar thing as well. Again, watch the pullback of the trend. The trend is your friend, and I've already got my entry again. Bought back in on Gwei. Already had a huge enough pullback already, down 20%, down about 20% on that last move, 25% from the wick to wick, and right now holding about 16% of those gains on the way back up. So again, I'm still a buyer of Gwei here between 4 cents and 4 cents 2. Maybe even 4 cents 3 before the next move back up to test them $100 million market cap at about 36% move from where we are now. And that's only the beginning of the breakout too, on the next leg up, the next cup and handle, and of course the next break up to that $125 million market cap. All right, guys, I will see you again tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, we're going to be hanging out with you guys also tomorrow on Feed the Fire Friday over on the Patreon after the live stream, of course, concludes. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, and keep milking Zama. It's our money printer, guys. It's our money printer. I love this coin. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later. Stay safe. See y'all again soon.
When will then be now? Soon.